Hey everybody, cinematicmethod.com here. We're halfway through the year, so we decided what better time than now than talk about the 10 worst movies we've seen this year. And keep in mind, we go out of our way, well out of our way, to see these bad movies. Should we talk about why we do that, or does it not matter?
I'd like to think that I get a little more appreciation for the good movies.
Perfect.
But
all right, our first movie, number 10, as we're counting them down. This may come as a shock to some. Limitless.
starring Bradley Cooper.
Yep.
Who I actually adore.
Yeah, apparently.
I like him.
I know you do.
He's one of my favorite guys out there. He's A-Team, all that.
You said it had an arrogance about it.
Yeah, it's an arrogant movie.
Thinking that it was a lot better than it is.
God, they just seemed like in their heads they thought of everything when they thought of nothing.
They had this idea that was kind of cool with this pill that could make your brain do some crazy stuff and make you apparently just the smartest man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't explain it, the science of it at all.
I don't mind not explaining the science because, in fact, I don't want you to explain the science to me at all.
Okay.
Because if you explain it to me a little bit, then I'm going to try and pick it apart. But if you give me nothing,
there's nothing to pick apart.
Why did other people like this? Like, what did you guys miss? I guess is my question.
Well,
just with these plot lines that amounted to nothing,
yeah,
and the direction that the movie took, it just, yuck.
The level of intelligence he should have had, based on what they were saying, he should have been unstoppable, and at no point should have been in trouble ever.
Number 9 on the list, less of a surprise. The Roommate. The horror flick, The Roommate. Well, I think we should just talk about our favorite scene.
Did you? Yeah. Well, what did you think of it from when you were walking around?
All I know is that you went on and on about this one scene involving a kitten.
These two roommates, they adopt they don't even adopt, they kind of just kidnap a little baby cat they found on this.
Baby cat. Also known as a kitten.
Okay, yep. Kitten.
Let's get baby cat started, though.
Yeah, baby cat.
Yeah, so they find this baby cat on, like, the back alley or something, and they keep it living in their room. Minka Kelly, who is the, I guess, protagonist of the movie, stays out too late one night, messing around with her boy.
Mm-hmm.
Leighton Meester. She's the roommate, the scary one. She gets angry at her for staying out too late and shoves the baby cat into a dryer and turns the dryer on.
Thus solving the kitten issue, which...
But what was funny about it was the next day, she just goes, "I lost the cat." Doesn't say, "I killed your cat because you stayed out too late. Now you won't do that anymore, will you?" She just says, "Oh, I lost it."
So, a solution to this baby cat problem for Leighton Meester could have been just to get rid of the cat in a normal way, giving it away.
Open the door.
Open the door, let it run away. But no, she decides to do something that only she will ever know about, and the unlucky person who tries to use the dryer machine next.
It seems like word would spread pretty quickly. You wouldn't believe what I found in the laundry, in the dryer. It's a dead baby alley cat. I think it looks like it's a baby cat skull.
Minka, didn't you lose a cat the other week? No, she ran away. How would she end up in the dryer?
Yeah, you couldn't get up there. It would take some sort of maniac to get a little baby cat up there.
It's just boring.
It is just horribly boring.
Very boring, and then that scene happened.
Speaking of boring, number 8.
Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch. 6% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, another boring one. I don't even know if I have much to say about that. It's just Nicolas Cage kind of doing poorly. And
is there a role... There can't be a role that Nicolas Cage has turned down in the last, 10 years, right?
Maybe this was his artistic film.
The consensus on Rotten Tomatoes is slow, cheap-looking, and dull.
They just didn't get it.
Oh, that ending scene with the fight in the castle was just...
I'm hearing fight in the castle. I'm thinking awesome movie. I'm surprised that this wasn't better.
Well, the visual effects were nothing to write home about.
Nicolas Cage demanded that he do all the digital effects himself.
I guess Red Riding Hood is another one of those movies that just inspired a lot of...
This is number 8?
A lot of rage. This is number 7 on the list. This is starring the ghoulish-looking Amanda Seyfried.
And I just want to reiterate, we've called her ghoulish-looking, but a very attractive ghoul.
Sure.
Not an ugly ghoul. It's not an insult.
She's number 1. This movie kind of just made me really uncomfortable. I don't know, like a constant, they wanted to be sexy the whole time or something, and it kind of weirded me out.
Oh, yeah. That was weird.
You know?
Ugh.
I don't want to
like
ghoul.
a sexualized fairy tale.
Yeah.
Which, to me, sounds kind of awesome. but I got a weird sense of the world, so
It's
I'll check it out.
Number 6, Hall Pass. 34% on Rotten Tomatoes.
this may be the dumbest idea on the list.
I think they thought that this idea was so fresh and original that they needed to keep hammering it home how awesome of an idea it was and how game-changing it's going to be. And they must have used the words Hall Pass literally triple digits.
Triple digits? That's a lot of times.
I know that they didn't go more than like 5 minutes without saying it.
Yeah.
And if they did,
It
it
came
was
in
like
bunches.
they made sure to get it back.
She's giving you a Hall Pass? She's giving me a Hall Pass. I want a Hall Pass. You can't have a Hall Pass. For example. That happened about every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, until at least you always knew what it was about.
Number 5, our second Nicolas Cage movie.
Has there ever been a year that he hasn't had at least 2 in the bottom 10? Probably
I don't
not.
know.
It's been a while.
He has been putting out some real stinkers lately.
And by lately, you mean the last decade?
If I was going to say, I want you to watch a really, really bad movie, this would be the one that I would say, you should watch this one.
I'd agree with
Because
that.
you can have it can be kind of a fun watch.
All right, number 4, The Dilemma with Vince Vaughn.
The most boring movie of all of them. You're
I
just
actually-
frustrated.
It started off,
What is this movie about?
This movie is about it stars Vince Vaughn and Kevin James. Kevin James is a married man who's been married for many years or something like that. And Vince happens to see Kevin James's wife canoodling with some younger man.
Oh.
And his dilemma is whether or not to tell Kevin James, because they are in the midst of a really big
business
deal
proposition.
Yeah, deal with a car company.
Don't tell him. What's the dilemma?
Well, he really doesn't.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, exactly. Well,
They made a whole movie of him deciding whether
Yeah.
to tell him?
they did. A normal dilemma like this would just be kind of like a thought in your head for a while.
Yeah.
That's-
It would be a list of pros and cons.
Yeah.
Number 3,
I admit that I wanted to see this when I saw previews for it.
which I'll never understand. Take Me Home Tonight, starring Topher Grace, some fat man.
Yes, the fat guy
The
that's
fat,
supposed
annoying
to
guy.
be like the Jonah
The
Hill.
the Jonah Hill
old
replacement.
Jonah Hill.
And then Teresa Palmer.
Yeah.
Oh, and Anna Faris.
And Anna Faris, who doesn't matter.
No.
She's like in the movie for 10 seconds or something.
It is a stupid,
There's really not
bad
one.
unfunny movie.
There's not really anything good about it. No.
And you even wanted to like it.
I did.
And you would have, if it was decent, you would have liked it a lot. Or you would have at least
I
lied
don't
about
know.
how much you liked it, but you couldn't even lie
couldn't
because it was
lie.
so bad.
And you are one to
You are very
to
stubborn.
lie
I'm
and
a-
defend anything.
Oh, definitely.
For a previous statement you've made,
Easily.
you will defend it to
Oh,
the
yeah.
death.
I put this, I put Take Me Home Tonight in this list originally, but I had it at number 9 because I was like, it's not that bad. Then I woke up this morning and, yeah, I gotta bite the bullet on this
Yeah.
one. Chris, basically just to let you know how stupid this movie ended up being. For some reason, there's a metal ball. Topher Grace's kind of redeeming end is getting in the ball and rolling down a big hill. And that's
I wish he would have drowned.
It
If
was-
he would have drowned in that ball in the pool, I would have loved the
It was
movie.
impressive enough to have him get Teresa Palmer's number at the end. She goes, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, apparently that's all you have to do to impress
Doesn't
an
make-
I
Australian
think I'm
woman.
missing some context here, but I don't care.
No, that's no, you're not. That's pretty much how it went. Like
all that happened.
he goes through the movie, he's lying about his job, then they find out he's lying, and then he goes, "Oh, I'm going to get in this ball and impress everyone. They'll be back on my side." That's exactly what happened.
Works like a charm.
Well,
This movie.
that was the 80s.
All right, top 2, cream of the crop. Number 2, Beastly.
Beastly.
For those of you unfamiliar, it is another reimagining that we alluded to earlier of the classic Beauty and the Beast, the Disney tale you might be familiar with.
This I saw Beauty and the Beast kind of recently, probably within the last 6 months. And it kind of makes me hate that a little bit.
You hated Beastly so much, you hated the movie it was spawned from.
It retroactively ruined a Disney
Well-
classic.
Well, I mean,
When did you watch Beauty and the Beast in the last 6 months?
I don't know. Isn't that like a classic Disney movie that
Yeah.
people watch?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched it.
it's classic that people watch if you're a child or you have children.
He just wanted a musical. He wanted to learn about Gaston.
Yeah, I wanted to get a little, I don't know, a little bit of juices
I'm
flowing.
not here to judge you. I'm just curious.
So
You doing all right?
Well, I mean,
what's been
I
going
wasn't
on in your
then.
life?
I wasn't back then. Now I'm better.
Okay. Well, just
Watch Beauty and the Beast, and now I'm feeling good again.
Well,
I
make sure
was
you're
until I watched this.
communicating with me and everything. You're staying open because I don't want you. If you ever have any trouble, just let me know.
I didn't realize that if you're watching Beauty and the Beast, then
you're watching it alone too. It's not like you're
Oh.
in this
So
movie.
I feel like it's a cry for help almost.
I want to say that the acting in this movie was the worst acting we saw,
It was.
right? And that's Vanessa Hudgens. The story was just stupid.
Yeah. Bottom line for this movie is, if you watch this, you're going to end up hating Beauty and the Beast. And I hate Vanessa Hudgens, I learned.
Oh, this movie was supposed to be released at the same time as Charlie St. Cloud in 2010, but they didn't want to release it then because Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron were in a relationship, and they didn't want them to pit them against one another.
The business people made this decision.
That's what it says on the IMDb page. I'm not defending what they did. I think it's just as stupid as you guys do. I'm just saying it
I'm
happens.
fine with it. I'm glad it happened. I just don't understand.
All right. And finally, number one, worst film so far of 2011, and I don't see it being supplanted, to be
I
honest.
kind of hope it does.
I hope it does too, but
I mean,
just go with it. Starring Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston
and Brooklyn Decker.
and Brooklyn Decker and Nick Swardson.
Really, this was the worst one.
This movie is so bad.
This was...
I actually tried to start watching this and I stopped.
I can't understand how anyone in the world could find these jokes funny
It's...
or these situations funny.
I want to say that this one was the toughest to get through. Yeah, it definitely was.
There are points when we're watching all these movies that I start to kind of scream uncontrollably, and this one really elicited a lot of anger from me
Yeah.
just at how awful it really was.
I don't know. You know what's going to happen the whole time.
Here's a cute fun fact for you. Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler have known each other for over 20 years. This is the first film they've ever been in together. She went to his wedding.
I can't believe how many people that are probably like that in Hollywood. Are you kidding?
And here's
I'm famous, you're famous, I know you, but, you know...
No, they've
we're
known each other.
probably-
They've known each other since before they were famous.
Get me the list where these people have know each other for 50 years and they've never been in a movie together.
Okay.
Give me that list.
Unless you are one of those people who thinks that the grown-ups kind of humor is funny, and Paul Blart Mall Cop,
Paul Blart Mall Cop is much better than this.
that's fine. I'm saying it's that brand of humor.
Okay, well,
Just slapstick.
just before you start
Falls when you have
smearing-
to fall back on slapstick humor to be funny, you're not doing something right.
Let's not throw slapstick under the bus.
I'm saying that
Let's throw poor
it's
poorly
desperation
done
slapstick.
slapstick.
The slapstick in this movie is Nick Swardson like humping a goat.
Well, hearing you describe it is actually...
And then
It sounds really funny, right?
the other hilarious moment of the movie was Dave Matthews picking up a coconut with his butt cheeks,
His anus, because he's gay.
and we
apparently
later
you
find
find
out
at the end.
find out he's a homosexual man. So the coconut was supposed to make sense to us now.
You guys waste a lot of time.
All right, and that's it from us. You heard it here first. Top 10 worst movies of the year so far. We're only halfway through. We're looking forward to another strong 6 months of bad movies.
Yeah, we haven't even watched Green Lantern yet.
We haven't watched
So.
Green Lantern. We haven't seen Bad Teacher. We haven't seen Mr. Popper's Penguins. So there's a lot of promise, and we're excited for it.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Can't wait.
Cinematicmethod.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Do it all.